What's that all about? My name's Darren, I'm an alcoholic.
Darren.
Wow, this is amazing. The birthday people, congratulations. I heard everything I need to hear. I could go home right now. Heard the message. Damn, so emotional already. I haven't even started. I'm the worst drunk I've ever met. And I want you to know that, so if you're new, I didn't think I could get sober. Because when I initially, first of all, let me thank especially Randy for inviting me down here. I want to thank Tom and John, and this is a great meeting. We love Ventura so much, we brought all of Santa Barbara with us. We all came in my car, so that's all right. But yeah, I'm the worst drunk I've ever met, and I can't believe I'm sober. I can't believe I'm sober, and I'm happy. That doesn't go together usually. In fact, things are so bad when I stop drinking. I get so miserable. I get so angry, so restless, irritable, discontent, self-pity. I'm so uncomfortable, I pick up again. And of course, that sounds obvious to us. But if you've just come out of the lockdown psychiatric unit, one more time, the most insane thing you could do would be to pick up a drink. Yet there I am, all lit up again. And this is to be repeated over and over and over. My last few years of drinking was jails, institutions, and death. I was going to jail for dumb little shit like a DUI and drunk in public and blah, blah, blah. I was going to hospitals and lockdown psychiatric units, the drunk tank. I was in all of them. And death was close, and death was welcomed. You can't scare us with death at this stage of drinking. It's like, bring it on. But alcoholism doesn't have the dignity to take us quickly. It can mess with some of us for years, if not decades. I'm not talking about a fentanyl overdose. I'm talking about alcoholism will chew you up, man, and spit you out. And so my fear is not dying an alcoholic death. My fear is living an alcoholic life, one miserable day at a time. And I remember when I was cornered by King Alcohol, quicksand stretched all around me. I was already in America. I'll get to that part in my story in a bit. But I was on the west side of the mean streets of Santa Barbara. I'm living in a shitty house in a crappy room. And, my life was over. I had met my match. It was midnight, and I'm maudlin drunk. And I really fought, like many of us, I really fought coming to Alcoholics Anonymous to the death. I fought it because I've seen it on the telly. That's the TV to you lot. I've seen it on the telly, and it's depicted so miserably depressing. It's unbelievable. Have you ever seen it? 14 bald, fat, ugly, miserable men in a circle. One of them sober about a week, and they're all clapping and crying and shit. I'm like, shit, I never want to end up there. And then that's the only place everyone's telling me to go. The doctors, the psychiatrists, friends and family I haven't spoke to in years. I'm like, no, mate, you don't understand. I'm already suicidally depressed. And now you want to send me to AA? It makes no sense. Plus, I didn't think I was an alcoholic, right? I don't think I'm an alcoholic because I don't think I look like an alcoholic. I have a preconceived notion of what it looks like to be an alcoholic. And it's the chap on the end of the off-ramp, the guy begging for change with a dirty, big, bushy beard, not a cool one like yours, a dirty, big, bushy beard, right? He's got a dirty tan, and that's an alcoholic. Now, it can't be anybody in here because you're either too young, you're too beautiful over there, you're too well put together, you're too businesslike. Well, some of you over there look like you've had a good drink, I suppose. There is that. But you don't look like you're an alcoholic. So I had to be absolutely cornered by King Alcohol. And it's midnight and I'm maudlin drunk. My 3 other roommates that couldn't stand me were out downtown partying, having excluded me, of course. And I'm going to kill myself, so I made the phone call to Alcoholics Anonymous. I had to find the yellow pages. You young'uns will have to Google that shit, won't you? And I could not find the number for AA. That's how drunk I was. It's in the beginning of the book. I called the number, and this beautiful, lovely, older lady answered the phone, and she was so good at her job. She was talking me down off the ledge. I got straight down to business. Yeah, I'm going to kill myself, lady. And if what had happened to me has happened to you, so would you. Yes, I might drink too much, blah, blah, blah. And she would chime in perfectly, little stories here and there. And then she said, well, hey, Darren, have you ever been to a meeting? No. Well, hey, there's a meeting tomorrow night down the street from you. She made it sound so special, man. I didn't know there was 200 meetings a week in Santa Barbara. I passed out. I came to the next morning. Now, I can't say I didn't have a little drink. I'm physically addicted to vodka at this stage of my alcoholism. So I've already had a few nips and this, that, and the other. I remembered, oh my God, I got to go to that bloody AA meeting tonight. And I was cornered, so I had to go. There's nothing else for me to do. So I showered for because if I'm going to, I have to have some vodka in me. If I'm going to leave my bedroom, let alone my house, I have to have some cheeky vodka in me, you know what I mean? Especially if I'm doing something really weird, like interacting with other humans. So I showered for the first time in months, and I gelled my hair all sexy, like I used to be able to back then. And I went wandering down to this A&A meeting. It was a men's stag. There were like 80 or 90 men outside this meeting hall. And it wasn't like I'd seen on the telly. It was like this. There was a brilliant vibe about it. There was like a vast amount of fun about it all. They were happy to see each other. Someone had gotten a promotion at work and everyone's congratulating him. Someone else had gotten engaged and they're all stoked for them. Now, I'm not obviously participating. I'm sat down. I don't want to catch anything from these happy folks, you know what I mean? I hate people, generally speaking. I especially hate those happy people. I mean, how can you be sober and happy? So I'm observing what's going on. And then what happened next really captured my attention. Just underneath, the deadly earnestness began to kick in. The secretary sat down, shuffled his papers like he meant business. Everybody caught the cue. Everybody shut up, got off their phones, can you believe it? And they sat in two huge circles. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then the meeting started, and I thought, well, this is a good time to open my jacket pocket. I pulled out a huge bottle of vodka and started drinking in the meeting. And the guy next to me is like, holy fuck. This guy's drinking vodka in the meeting. And I was like astounded. I'm like, wow, why is nobody else drinking? Don't you have a problem with alcohol? I have a really bad problem with alcohol, dude. I stayed drunk in the meetings for a year. In Santa Barbara, I went to every meeting drunk and drank openly in the meetings. It took me, I got quite the reputation back then, I'll tell you. I love those, that still few people who are in here tonight that seen me drunk and drinking in meetings. It was a nightmare, I swear to God. And so, Alcoholics Anonymous is just like the best thing that's ever happened to me. I just can't fucking believe it. It took me 3 months to figure out what you cheeky monkeys were doing. You lot were putting your vodka in a water bottle and then coming to a meeting. Like, you could have told me. Now, it wasn't always like that. I started drinking when I was 13. 13, I thought that's pretty young. If I ever tell my story, I thought Fred's going to fall off his chair. 13, that's outrageous. No, not in Alcoholics Anonymous, right? What I realised is you can't outdo anybody in Alcoholics Anonymous. Someone over here saying, I was drinking when I was 8. It's like, well, I don't give a fuck, okay? This one woman speaker, she gives a great talk all around California, all around America, but her whole pitch surrounds the fact that she was drunk and high in her addicted mother's womb. In the womb. Oh, fucking K, you win. You win. How can you outdo that, Teresa? You win. You can't outdo it. Now, I drank from 13 to 33. And I had a good time all the way up to my mid to later 20s. I had a good time. It was good to me. I was good to it. I was the leader of our pack. My gang were having fun. Some people don't like the fact if you've had a bit of a good time. Some people don't like it. I can't believe it. It's like, don't worry, mate. I am going to ruin my life, and then I'm going to want to kill myself. We're going to get there. But I had a good time until 25, 26, 27. Then alcoholism started to infiltrate into my life. And it comes first it doesn't come with me living down by the river in a tent drinking neat vodka. Alcoholism is subtle and progressive. And it comes in the form of massive amounts of anxiety. And it comes in the form of massive amounts of depression. And it comes in the form of this spiritual malady that wants to separate me from you, get me on my own, and kill me. And it gets progressively worse and worse and worse. It's eating my soul alive from the inside out. And I don't know what's going on. And as the years go by and I see other people laughing and having fun, I'm thinking to myself, God, I'll fake laugh or I'll drunk laugh. But I'm thinking, when was the last time I actually laughed? And what alcoholism does is alcoholism steals your happy gene. And you're thinking about it, God, it was like a kid the last time I was genuinely happy. Now, I was a businessman with my brother. We started a business together, and things caught on. We did really good. We were renting out vehicles to people involved in road traffic accidents that were their fault. And when a check came in, we'd buy another vehicle. And so, within 18 months, we had dozens of people working for us. We had 60, 70, 80 vehicles. I'm driving a nice sports car, and I've got Miss Manchester on my arm. The banker's watched with amused skepticism. I'm whirling some fat checks in and out of his account. But alcoholism is taking its grip on me. Now, it's killing me during the day when I'm sober. When I'm out at night, I'm like Superman. But during the day, sober, it's killing me. I'm paralyzed I can't get out of my sports car to go to a high-powered business meeting that I'd set up the day before because I'm paralyzed with fear. And I'm just waiting for someone to realize what's really going on with me. Because we just put the bullshit face on, don't we? How are you doing, Darren? Hey, I'm great. How are you doing? I'm dying on the inside. And I'm imagining someone eventually is going to come up to me, go right up to my eyes and go, wow, what's wrong with you? But like, oh shit, I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know and I'd have to leave. Because I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm having mental health problems. I don't know. Things get so bad I can't do my job at all that my brother's onto me the whole time. I go to a boardroom meeting, 4 directors. We're a small shareholding company. And my brother chimes, I hated those things. I'd never pay attention. I can't wait for it to be over. And I heard him say, yeah, Darren, so we had a meeting before this meeting and we're going to have to let you go. I'm like, wait, what? Can you do that? Like, I started this business. Only an alcoholic can get fired from a business he started. And so I got angry because I was full of fear. And so I kicked a table over to go and give my brother a flying headbutt, right? I believe in clear communication. The finance director just tackles me. It's just one of them awful alcoholic moments that we've all had. The mask has slipped. Darren's been found out. Now, I've got to leave my car there. They're going to cut me a crappy check in a few weeks. It's the worst day of my life to date, but all I care about is changing the narrative on that story. You cannot be talking poorly about me, right? So it's a Thursday night. I trudge off home. It's a miserable, overcast afternoon. And I'm thinking, I'm scheming. Who was there? It was only my brother, and he's a wanker. There was 2 other directors. They're nobodies. I need to get ahead of this story and create my own narrative. And so it was a Thursday night. Was anyone else's weekends longer than their week? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd already arranged to go out that night. I got to the bar before my friends. I had a couple of stiff drinks, and woof, the old fierce determination to win came right back. And here comes my mate Simon, and here comes Dave. I said, did you hear about that bullshit today? I told my brother where to go. I built that business up from my bedroom. I can do it. And they bought it, and they're nodding their heads. And by this time, 15 others, friends have turned up. I've got an audience. I've had another drink inside of me. Said, yeah, I don't need those guys. I can do anything I put my mind to. They're all, yeah, that's right, Darren. That's all I cared about, what they thought of me. And while I had an audience, I said to them, when I was a student, I used to love traveling and stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go traveling again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to America. and I'm going to become president of America or some shit. Apparently any fucker can become president over here. I think the problem is the shitty UK weather. I think the problem is my brother. He's a wanker. I think the problem is my girlfriend. She keeps leaving me for stupid little things like my cheating on her and stuff. But no, somebody put the problem on a flight at Manchester International Airport and flew him all the way to LAX. And I got picked up by an uncle who'd been in Santa Barbara for 20 years. I'd never met him. He come down to pick me up. We get in the car. He doesn't say much at all. He's built this massive spliff, lights it up, takes a big drag and passes it to me and says, "Welcome to America, Darren." Like, I had arrived again. And, you know, this man owns the English bar in downtown Santa Barbara. See, there is a God. We go back to Santa Barbara. Now, I came to Santa Barbara for a 2-week holiday 24 years ago. I never made it back to England. I didn't know I was going to circle the drain of life and almost die of untreated alcoholism. I'm coming here just to take the edge off, you know what I mean? I stayed drunk for 2 weeks. When I'm on holiday, I like to drink. My visa waiver allowed me to stay for 90 days, so I just immediately went, okay, I'm going to stay for 90 days. Drunk in the bar every single day. Now, my lack of responsibility is really going to mask my alcoholism. If you think about it, it's not a problem for me or for us to stay drunk. It's not a problem for me to stay drunk or high. The real problem for any alcoholic is to face life sober. And so my lack of responsibility is really going to work for me and against me. After 90 days, now I know everybody in Santa Barbara, everybody now knows me. The owner of the bar is a very popular man, so I was instantly in. A friend flew over from Manchester, and I buy an SUV, and we travel the whole of America for 4.5 months. 12,000 miles, 32 states. I'm drunk off my ass in every town, city, and state. By the time we got back to Santa Barbara, I had 7 outstanding warrants in 5 different states. That means I had a good time. My friend, who's normal, flies back to England. England has a dark cloud for me still. And so I'm staying here. I'm staying here and I become a drunk bartender in my uncle's pub. He has no idea what he's letting himself in for. No idea. It was the best job in the world for me and the worst job in the world for me, all rolled into one. I should have been fired after my first shift. I'm the drunkest person in the bar all the time. All of us downtown, we all know each other. We're all doing white goods to keep awake and all stuff like that. Now, this is Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm going to talk about alcoholism. But I did try cocaine once for 20 years. I love that shit. I love amphetamine, speed, anything that will allow me to drink Clayton under the table. You know what I mean? And so I start to bartend, and I'm bartending for 18 months, hanging on by a thread. Because I'm supposed to turn up to work sober. Things were so bad, I had to go to an Irish bar to have a cheeky drink, to then go across the road to the English pub and go to work. Sounds logical to me. I think I'm doing my boss a favour. Do you remember that height of anxiety? Dude, I've been to work so bad, so freaking bad, that most normal people would dial 911, right? But I'm thinking if I can just get into work without the sunlight shattering me into a million pieces, maybe I'll be okay. 18 months hanging on by a thread, getting my shifts covered, always in trouble. I'd wake up and I'm already in trouble. Like, dude, I just woke up. I don't know what I'm in trouble for, but I'm in trouble. I'd have a shadowy recollection of me being yet again the drunkest person in the bar, slumped on the stool, watching the locals serving each other. That is not a good look. I get fired from that job. That was 10 times worse than losing my entrepreneurial position. I wake up, I'm so rough, I'm so hungover, got 5 missed calls on my phone, listen to that voicemail, get down here, now. Oh, God, that sense of impending doom. Now I know why we have a sense of impending doom. It's because something bad is going to happen, the way we're living our life. I go down to the bar, to the press room, I'm crying. Raf, please don't let me. Darren, you'll never work in here ever again. Something wrong with you. You need to go back to England. You need to go to rehab. I don't know, but you'll never work in here again. Oh, I tied one on that night, I'll tell you. I tied one on. I went back to the bar the next day to see who took my shift. And I threw a pint over him in front of everybody. How to ostracize yourself from the whole of downtown Santa Barbara in a nanosecond. Only we can pull shit like that off. Darren, you get out of here right now. I never want to see your face ever again. Then I really went on a death march. Now I'm drinking morning, noon, and night, stealing my vodka. I'm not a cute little drunk, dude. I'm not a cute little drunk. I ain't a functioning alcoholic. I'm a vodka drinking maniac. And what happened to me is I haven't seen anybody for months and months and months. I'm just living in this shitty room in a crappy house with people that want nothing to do with me. And a typical day for me is I would come to and it would be pitch black outside. And I have no idea whether it's night or day. And I'd figure it out, oh my God, it's 5 a.m., that darkest hour before the dawn. Now I have strong, horrible, warm vodka under my bed because I'm going to need it at first daylight, but I so desperately don't want to drink it. I could only last 10 to 15 minutes because the mental and hellish torture is so bad, I just need to pick it up. And I know I don't want to drink because I know what that means. But at this stage of my drinking, I've cracked my mind. And only you know what I mean. I've cracked my mind. I'm operating on a different level. I need dumbing down. I've drank so much hard alcohol. I've done so many drugs. I've ruined my wiring. And so after 10 minutes, I'd reach under the bed to get that tall bottle of vodka. And I always have 4 fingers left in the bottom of it. Because it's like a science project. That is exactly what I'll need to just uncrack the mind, take the thoughts of suicide away. And I will polish that vodka off. It will do its job. But then here's the problem. It's not even 6 a.m. Here's the problem. I've just fed the beast. And now the beast needs feeding. And now I've got to put on my smelly, baggy clothing to go to Foodland liquor store less than 1 block away to steal me 2 big bottles of vodka. And I come clinking off home. Now you go home and what you might want to do is you want to pound the vodka and pass out because you want oblivion. But no. You can't do that, dude. It's like a science project. It is immensely important that first bottle gets nursed into the later afternoon. Because the second bottle has to get me into the evening. Because what I'm trying to do is get to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe even 11 o'clock to for once catch a good enough sleep to wake up and not have to drink like that ever again. And it says the mind and body are marvelous mechanisms. I drank like that for 2 more years. And then I started to come to the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous drunk. Here's how I got sober. I came to one morning and there was no vodka under my bed. That had never ever happened to me before. And I took it as a sign, this is the day I'm going to kill myself. And I was fine with that. I'd already tried 3 months before. I was going to kill myself. It was midnight. I'm maudlin drunk. The roommates are downtown partying, haven't excluded me. I remembered one of them has an arsenal of weapons in his bedroom. He's a bit of a maniac. So I jimmied the door, broke in. There's an AK over here, shotgun, handguns, revolvers, everything. Dream come true. Now, I'm English. I don't quite know what I'm doing with a gun. But I find the loaded revolver and go stumbling into the living room. I sit down. I've got the gun in my mouth. It's cold. It's heavy on my teeth. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Do you blow the back of your head off or do you shoot up through the roof of your mouth? And as I'm thinking it through, the thought came to me, Darren, if it's midnight, if you pull the trigger right now, you'll definitely wake the neighbours up. You know what I mean? I'm too polite for that shit. So I fucking throw the gun around, finish the job. But today's the day I'm going to do it. And I stay in my bedroom for at least a couple of hours deliberating how to do it. I decide I'm going to throw myself off Santa Barbara's biggest bridge, Cold Springs Bridge. Popular suicide spot, a bit like the Golden Gate for us, right? So about 10 a.m. and I go outside. My car's there. It's a miracle. Remember that movie, Dude, Where's My Car? My car was there, jump in it, drive all the way up to Cold Springs Bridge. I've been there before. I park the car, I walk to the center of the bridge, and I pause because I know it's going to kill me mum. And in that pause, grace came in the form of a man who told me the truth in Alcoholics Anonymous. I used to share inappropriately. I'm going to kill myself. AA doesn't work. And he was sick of my shit. Pulled me off to the side, said, hey, Darren, what are you talking about? You haven't done anything around here. And I got angry because he's telling me the truth. I said, I've been coming here for a year, old man. He said, well, Darren, first of all, you should come sober. It works better. Okay. Every time I got out of a facility, I was sober. I can get sober, I just can't stay sober. He said, and a drunk like you, Darren, you need to get a sponsor and work the 12 steps. Now, I had two big secrets in AA, just like many of you will have the two same big secrets. One was, I didn't have a sponsor. And if I did, it was in name only, which is the same bullshit. And the other one was I wasn't working any steps. And you lot were always talking about them. And so I'm on the bridge, and I really sincerely took this position. And I said to myself, he's right, man. I've never done nothing about this, and it's going to kill me mum. I said, I'm going to go back to that AA bullshit, and I'm going to do those stupid 12 steps. And when they don't work, I'm going to find that man, and we're going to have a little chit-chat. I'll take him off the bridge with me, right? Now, I know enough about my alcoholism and detoxing that I need to go back to the lockdown psychiatric unit. I need to be properly medically detoxed. And so I jump in my car, drive all the way back down I go to Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital emergency room and park in my usual spot. As I'm pulling in, I sideswipe the car next to me. I can't believe it. I've just driven down a goddamn mountain road and I crash in the car park of the hospital. The security are there, there's a big noise, there's damage to the car. Two cops are around the corner. They come over, and I'm like, yep, sorry, dude, that was my fault. I've got my ID. This is my car. And I'm about to start talking. One of them comes behind me. The other one comes up to me. He's about to say something. He goes like this. He goes, whoa, have you been drinking? And I think, that's a weird first question. I said, no, mate, have you? They don't like that approach. He said, you reek of alcohol. I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. He said, you're doing some field sobriety tests. I said, okay. I do 25 minutes of field sobriety tests. Perfectly. He's so pissed, man. He looks at his colleague goes like this. He's, oh, you're doing some more. Do another 15 minutes. Then he says, blow into this device. And I blow into his breathalyzer and I blow 0.32. I haven't even had a drink yet. I'm waking up at a 0.32, then I'm drinking me 2 big bottles of vodka. These two cops just cannot believe it. They cannot believe it, dude. They're jibber-jabbering with each other, and I'm like, is this a good thing or a bad thing, dude? And then he starts to come towards me and takes the handcuffs out, and I'm panicking. Have you ever detoxed in jail? Oh, my Lord. I said, what are you doing? He said, turn around, you're going to jail. I said, listen, mate, if you take me to jail right now, I will kill somebody. I said, I'm small, Mum, but I'm fucking dangerous, dude. Then I start to use the language of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the magic starts to happen. I start to tell him everything about Alcoholics Anonymous, everything that I'm not doing, what I know that I need to do. Sir, you've got to let me into the lockdown psychiatry. They love me in there. They've got a file on me and everything. Please. Now the magic starts to happen, and of course they arrest me, but they decide not to take me to jail. They take me to the local police station, which I'll be forever grateful for. And now I'm handcuffed in the back of the squad car, and we're going to the local police station on Figueroa Street. Now we're getting along great. They actually radio ahead to tell all the colleagues, hey, we've got this Irishman, and he blew a 0.32. I said, I'm English, you moron. Take me to the police station. I swear to God, everybody in that building came down to chat with me. Everybody. After 2 or 3 hours, they take me to the lockdown psychiatric unit. One more time. So what, for the 4th time? I'd literally gotten drunk twice on the way home from there. Here's the difference is, Darren has hit bottom. Now, hitting bottom for me gets misrepresented in the rooms of AA a lot. Hitting bottom for me is very precise. It's when you ask somebody for help and follow through with all the directions. Think about it. The rest is just a bunch of bullshit if you're on my war story. You haven't hit bottom if you're doing the same old shit. Whether you're in prison, selling your body for drugs, it doesn't matter. You're still doing the same old shit. And I was going to prove I'd hit bottom. Now they take me to the lockdown psychiatric unit. It sounds a little depressing, I guess, but I love me some lockdown psychiatry unit. You know why? Because a lot of narcotics are coming my way. I'm starting to DT, I'm starting to get the shakes. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about sobriety at this point. I just need all as many drugs as possible to make it. I have detox on my own. It's not good at all. And so they take you into a private elevator. They take you up to the 5th floor. The security guard walks you into the no man's land. You click the doors shut. You get on the phone. They click you in. I'm in the lockdown psychiatric unit. And I know what I need to do. I need to get as many drugs as is humanly possible. You go up to the person behind the little window. And I go up there. She knows me and I know her. And I said, "Hello, Mary. How you doing, my love?" She's just shaking her fucking head like, I'm like, "Mary, I'm going to need my usual cocktail, please. I would like 118 Valiums, 2 pints of Seroquel, whatever the fuck them pink things are. I'll have some of them up there. And for once, can I get the penthouse suite? And if that's taken, I'll have my usual room." She's shaking her head. She gives me as many drugs as she's legally allowed to give me. A wolf, all the drugs down. 10 minutes later, woof, loaded to the gills. Loaded to the gills, ready to start judging people again. You know what I mean? I'm already Lord of the Nut Ward. Well, it's all these losers. Look at all these losers. I'm like, she takes I wanted to kill myself 3 hours ago, you know what I mean? That's the effect produced. She took my belt off me. She takes my laces off me, so I don't hang myself in this happy place. Now I know exactly what I need to do now that I'm in the lockdown psychiatric unit. I know exactly what I need to do. I know what you lot do. I got to go and find myself a little girlfriend in the lockdown psychiatric unit. Don't you lie to me. Back then, you'd go to your room, you get changed into the hospital robe, make sure it's tied at the back. Now, where does everybody hang out? They're all in the day room. They're in the TV room, right? So we're wandering down there, loaded to the gills, open the door, bang it against the wall so everyone can look my way, so I can survey the crowd. There's a girl over here banging her head against the wall. There's a guy over here dribbling on himself and drooling. And then I see her. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. She's on her own doing laps around the couch, all on her own. She's got this black hair, but it's all in front of her face. She's got unusually long arms. She's just walking around the couch going, "Aah!" Just like that girl out the movie, The fucking Ring or some shit. And I go sliding in there and grab her by the hand and we do some laps together. We fall madly in love. Then they detox me from all the drugs, all the alcohol by giving me all the drugs. Then they detox me from the drugs. And 13 days later, once again, they pop me out sober. I hit the pavement. I've got my bracelet denoting me a psychiatric patient. It was a Wednesday afternoon and I did not take a drink, which is an absolute miracle. I went to a very powerful men's stag called the Junkyard Dogs. Woof. 80 or 90 men were outside this meeting hall, smoking fags, drinking coffee and having a good time. Dozens of them were properly armed with the facts about themselves and the illness. I went straight up to Mike. Said, "Mike, I just got out today, dude. I'm going to drink tonight, man. You know it. I know it. What do I need to do?" And he looked at me and he said, "Holy shit, Darren, are you sober right now?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh my God, let's get into action. Normally we do some reading, maybe to page 60 in the ABCs." He said, "Let's do a 3rd step prayer right now." Listen, I said, I don't pray on my knees. I hate God and I don't believe in religion. I said, "What do you mean, Mike, in front of these 80 men? And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." I said okay because the no had been beaten out of me. Darren wasn't too cool for school anymore. Darren was about to conform to the process. We did the 3rd step prayer in front of everybody. We went into that meeting. I'll never forget it. Some guy had a grand mal alcoholic seizure in that meeting. It was disgusting. I've never seen anything like it. I've had many grand mal seizures. I just never fucking seen one. You know what I mean? I went home that night from the meeting. I wrote 100 names on my resentment inventory. I passed out. I came to at 5 a.m. shaking and baking. I wrote 100 more names. It wasn't even 6 a.m. I was going to take a drink. I called my sponsor. He answered the phone. He gave me my next column, and he saved my life. I called him 12 times that day to finish all 3 inventories. I went to his house the next day, and we did my 5th step, 3.5 hours. He's sending me home to do my hour of review, and he gave me a big hug. He said, Darren, this is amazing. This has never happened to me before. I said, hey, Mike, I'm glad you feel good. I feel like shit, dude. He said, oh, don't worry, man. Trust in the process. The next day, we did steps 6 and 7. 6 and 7? I didn't understand what 6 and 7 were. Nobody understands steps 6 and 7. Don't worry about it. But I had a lot of willingness and humility, and I was desperate to move on, and we did. The next day, we did my 8th step. It was easy. I already had my list. I just had to annoyingly transfer it to another list, and then I added to my list. On my 5th and 6th day of sobriety, I went around Santa Barbara, and I made 21 amends. 21 amends, and I was lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. I was rocketed into the 4th dimension. My little English heart filled up so much I thought it was going to burst. Everything made sense. Everything made sense. Oh my God, this is why half the guys and gals in AA are into it. That's why the sponsoring people are being of service. Oh my God, they must get this feeling. Oh my God, this is why half the people are miserable as fuck. They're not doing nothing like I was doing nothing. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, wait a minute. This is what you're calling God. And I understood because I saw, I felt, I believed. I felt so good. I got up the next day and I went to Foodland Liquor Store. I said, I need to speak to the manager. I said, sir, I live less than 1 block away and I've been a really bad drunk for many years. And I've got to tell you, I've been stealing vodka from your store for well over a year. I said, I'll never steal from you or anyone else ever again. I said, I've added it up and it comes to $2,750. I said, I will never steal from anyone else ever again. I said, it's Friday, sir. I just started work for the first time in years, 2 days ago. There's $25. I'll be back every Friday with $25 until I've paid that whole amount off and any interest you determine. I said, is there anything else I can do to make this right? And he looked at me and he said, wow. And I looked at him and I said, wow. And I floated off to make some more financial amends. I couldn't believe how good it felt to give you your money back. I said to my sponsor, what's next? He went, oh my God, Darren, this is crazy. 10 and 11. I said, 10 and 11, what's that? He said, yeah, I'll show you what to do right here, right now for step 10. And then I'll show you what to postpone the punishment of. Then I'll show you what to do in 11 to sandwich your day. 2 minutes in the morning of added meditation. You're already praying your little English ass off. And 2 minutes to review your day at night. He already knew I was a recovered alcoholic, even if I didn't. But thank God he gave me the full strength deal. Thank God he didn't skip anything out. Thank God he gave me what I now call the guaranteed version of sobriety. Guaranteed. Now, it's not like I like meditation, but I can't skip anything. You're not allowed to skip a 5th step because you have ADHD, are you? No. You're not allowed to skip a 9th step because you don't have enough time, are you? No. So thank God he gave me the deal where I have to include some form of meditation. 2 minutes. And he showed me a little routine. Now, I don't like it at all. I fight it every day, but I do it every day. In fact, it's taken me 20 years to go from 2 minutes meditation to 10 minutes meditation. 20 years. But God loves him a little trier. God loves him a little fucking trier, let me tell you. My God is cool. My God is cool. My God is up there laughing his bearded ass off at me down there in the mornings doing my shitty prayer meditation. Laughing his ass off he is. He says to himself, look at that little fuck down there. That's God. Look at that little fuck doing his shitty prayer meditation. And he sucks at it as well. But then he says, you know what? You know what? Check. Give that little wanker another day of sobriety. That's how cool my God is. He doesn't care that I'm a potty mouth man from Manchester. He cares about my actions. He cares about my helping others, which I do relentlessly. Relentlessly. I brought some of them here tonight. Steps 10 and 11 are like the keys to the kingdom. Steps 10 and 11 are so simple, you won't do it. Isn't that the truth? What is wrong with us? I think we're alcoholics. Only an alcoholic will burn his life to the ground to then come running to a 12-step program just to resist the 12 steps. What is wrong with us? But I am in, dude. I am sold on the plan outlined in this book. And some of you have to feed your own soul around here. I don't care that some people go to one speaker meeting a week and they're good. I got to be in the trenches. I got to go to many meetings. I have to be of service. I have to sponsor guys. I have to do my shitty prayer meditation. You know, some of us have to do a lot just to feel normal. I'm not as sick as Tom, but I'm pretty sick. I have to do a lot just to stay normal. I sponsor so many men in Santa Barbara. I do so much AA. I should be the Dalai fucking Lama or some shit. But no, I do all that just to be another bozo on the bus. And why do we do it? Because we've entered the world of the Spirit. Why do we do it? Have you ever experienced a full heart? When you're driving home tonight, hopefully you've had a good time and you're feeling good. We've entered the world of the Spirit. We want to bottle that shit. I want to do as much AA so I feel like that most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Because life's going to kick you in the bollocks and that's okay. But most of the time I can be happy, joyous and free. But I have to be active. And I have to be giving this thing away or being of service in some other ways. If you can't sponsor, that's all right. Be of service as much as you possibly can. And I'll finish with this story about we've entered the world of the Spirit, because that's why we're here. Fucking man. I was speaking at a conference, a young person's conference in San Jose, the Bay Area, near San Francisco, 8 or 9 years ago. 3,000 young maniacs have taken over this Hilton complex. If you've ever been to a YPOR event, you got to go, because they are annoying as fuck and fun as fuck, all rolled into one. 3,000 of them going nuts. Now, many of them were hospitalized because they've overdosed on Red Bull. But that's okay. They gave them a monster drip and they were just fine. Now, I'm the closeout speaker on a Sunday morning, so most of these wankers have gone home by then. Many of them are still in bed because they've been up running around naked all night. So there must be like 600-700 people at this Sunday closeout speaker meeting where I'm going to give the talk. And they're all looking at us. Now, there's a girl next to me I've never met. And she's from LA. I'm from Santa Barbara. We're in the Bay Area. And we're about to give our talk. There's about 5 minutes to go and everybody's being polite. And they're all looking at us. And she's texting on her phone. She's texting on her phone. I think that's so rude, man. That's so rude. But it's got nothing to do with me. So I get involved right away. What are you doing? What's going on here? Like, what's the problem? Now, she's texting with her sponsor in LA. Her sponsor's having a bit of a problem. 21 years previously, her sponsor got sober. 20 of them are in this co-ed sobriety house. Usual story. Most people got drunk. Some went to jail. Some went to prison. A couple of people died. Her and this man stayed sober for 90 days. 90 days. Amazing. This guy, Matt, then moved to Maui, Hawaii. Got plugged into AA over there. Never left. Raised a family. Had 2 kids. 2 boys. He's got a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old, but they are dying of untreated alcoholism. Dying of it. They're on the mainland somewhere going to school. The only phone number he still has, he texts her, she texts a couple of her sponsees. One of them sat next to me and she said, well, can I give them your phone number? I need a male phone number. I said, sure thing, no problem. Change our numbers. We give our talks. Everything goes great. Then we're leaving the conference, right? I get in my car. We're going to bomb it down the freeway. Now, when I speak out of town, I've got all my tough guys with me. You know what I mean? You take your tough guys. You know, all the sleeved up guys. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You might run into some of them NA fuckers. You know what I mean? So we're all in the car, driving down the freeway. I remember to call this guy. He's on speakerphone. He answers the phone. I'm like, hey, my name's Darren. I'm coming from a conference. I was told to call you. And there's just dead silence. Dead silence. We're all waiting for a little bit, and it's silence. And then we realize this man's crying. He's crying. And it's such a moment of humility. And he can't catch his breath. And I want to cry too, but I can't because I'm with all my tough guys, And then I'll look at the guy next to me and I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Are you crying? This guy with tattoos on his neck's crying. And then I look in the rearview mirror. I'm like, oh my God, they're crying in the back. I'm like, are you crying in the back? You've got tattoos on your face, for God's sake. Everybody's crying. This man then gets it together and he says, Darren, I've got to tell you, I've been AA a long time, man. And I tell you now, I've prayed a lot and I've never, ever asked for anything of myself. But my prayer has always been, if my 2 boys need the hand of AA, please let it be there. I said, dude, I'm in. I'm all in, man. Where are they? I'll find them. What state are they in? I'm pretty plugged in many states. We'll find them. What's going on? He said, they both attend Santa Barbara City College. I said, I work at Santa Barbara City College. We have entered the world of the Spirit. Dude, this is for fun and for free. This is the best show on earth, the greatest show on earth. And by the way, AA never gets stagnant. We get stagnant. We get stagnant. Change it up. Go to different meetings. Do some H&I. Sponsor that person. Do what you've been. If you've got 5 and 6, ask your sponsor what 5 and 6 are about. 6 and 7. If you've got some amends, do them. Do another 4th and 5th set. Whatever. Let's just get into it. And when you start sponsoring people, you've really entered the world of spirit because you have all these little soap operas going on in your life. Crazy ones. Good ones. All these things. And it's the funniest thing you could ever imagine. Can you believe it? And this is for fun and for free. I'll leave you with this. If you're new or you're not so new and you're struggling with God, religion might be for those people that are trying to avoid going to hell. Spirituality is for people that have been to hell. Thank you all very much.